For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You remember this shocking and hideous attack on 5 individuals in a home in Choiseul over the weekend? Well, they're very interesting to hear what the Prime Minister has to say about this and what might have been the cause of this gruesome attack. And we have a whole lot more. The Prime Minister was in a very jovial mood towards the end of his press briefing yesterday. We'll provide you with the evidence of that and a whole lot more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, when you can call a little bit later at 452-2579, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room as we embark upon yet another course of action aimed at educating you, entertaining you, edifying you, and also giving an opportunity to have your say on critical events and situations happening in the country with a view to you effecting some kind of change. So stand by as we embark on yet another journey. Tourism. The island's Prime Minister, during his press briefing yesterday, boasted about increased tourist arrivals. And we are very happy that St. Lucia is in a position to speak so boastfully because of our tourism product that is in high demand. And the fact that irrespective of from time to time visitors coming under attack, we are a hospitable people. We welcome many visitors to our shores because I think in the main, most St. Lucians understand and appreciate the valuable contribution that tourism is making towards the economic development of our country, and as individuals in particular. And I'm sure many of you can attest to the importance of this vital sector because of what transpired during the height of the COVID-19 period, when we were on a lockdown and visitors could not enter our shores. We surely felt the economic impact. We will hear the Prime Minister in just a moment from two perspectives. One where he was a cynic and, of late, an optimist. Let's listen to the Prime Minister boasting about tourism arrivals against the background of a wildcat strike which occurred over the weekend at the Uranora International Airport, which resulted in the cancellation of at least 3 flights. Ground handlers decided to take industrial action.
We have a very robust tourism industry. The planes actually come in very full. The planes are landing very, very full. In fact, it's probably one of the best times in St. Lucia's history for arrivals on the airport. St. Lucia's never done that well in its history as far as tourism arrivals are concerned, and you can go see for yourself for the airport. The planes are very full. In fact, there was almost panic in the hotels this weekend because there was no room. The hotels are panicking because they weren't sure whether they would have place for any visitors who got stranded in St. Lucia. The tourism industry is doing very well. The planes are coming almost at full capacity, and the hotels are they're experiencing some very high occupancy. In fact, there were some people who came here on a mission, and they had to live at another hotel or another guest house, because they could not find a room in the hotel in St. Lucia. We're very pleased with it. Our tourism is doing very, very well.
Very, very well. Very, very optimistic Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. Let's take it back to just before the last general election. Very, very, very pessimistic Philip J. Pierre.
The government is continuing as usual, as if nothing happened. St. Lucia, the government of St. Lucia is the only government that believes that tourism will get back to how it was pre-COVID. I think it's the only government in the world that believes that. There's no other government, I think, who believes that except the government of St. Lucia. So what do? We continue with business as usual. We continue to build an airport based on the fact that our airport would get its income from arrivals. Are you serious? Do you really believe that we're going to get a level of arrivals that we had when we did the sensitivity analysis for the building of that airport? Are you really serious? I mean, can we really sit down and say to ourselves that with the best will in the world, we are going to get the same level of arrivals in the country when we projected to borrow money from the airports?
So I'll make a promise to the Prime Minister. If you were to ever at one of his press briefings admit that he made a huge error when he made that statement, unwise statement, unprompted statement, just prior to the last general election, then I will never play that clip again to remind him of the error of his ways. I promise that. Especially if he calls NewsSpin and say, to my audience, I apologize. One word, I apologize. I erred just prior to the last general election. I made a huge error, and mea culpa. I apologize to the people of this country. Because you see, the Prime Minister very often calls on reporters to fact check him. And he says that we must always speak the truth. We must always level off with our audience. Don't mislead. Don't get into misinformation and disinformation. And on this particular occasion, we're happy that the Prime Minister would see the wisdom in coming clean on this particular issue, because that clip that I continue to play of the Prime Minister making that unwise statement, as if he had a crystal ball. He envisioned that tourism would never, in terms of the arrivals, would never, ever return to the pre-COVID-19 period. Wrong, very wrong on that. The Prime Minister, to his credit, has the gumption, has the temerity, has the confidence to continue to speak on increased arrivals and how buoyant the tourism sector is. And he does that with a straight face. What else is happening? Over the weekend, you had this gruesome incident. On Friday, to be exact. We have the video and we cannot show it because it is just appalling what happened over in Industry Roselle. Among the individuals who were attacked, gruesomely at that, a 5-year-old, 60-year-old male, a 54-year-old female, and another female, 18. And this is being strongly condemned by the parliamentary representative, Mr. Bradley Felix. And I think earlier today on the newscast here on Power 97.9 at noon, you would have heard condemnation coming from the education minister, particularly in reference to the attack on the 5-year-old. So a question was posed to the Prime Minister yesterday at the press briefing regarding this incident.
Recently, they had some chopping in Roselle, and it's been around. Are there something we see that I know concerned about? And what's up?
Very concerned about domestic violence. Very concerned, but it comes back to our need for conflict resolution, for our needs to temper the anger that is being generated in this country. Our need for us to temper the anger, for bring down the rhetoric. Time for us to speak the truth. Time for us to understand that there are things that we have little control over. Generally, that anger, that call for anger, and that call to get vexed, and that call to get annoyed, that call to be angry, manifests itself in many different ways. That's why we should always try, in the words we say, particularly as leaders, for us to understand that when we say things, our words have implications, sometimes unforeseen implications. A call for general call for anger, a call for general call for annoyance in the country has some effect on what's happening at our homes.
So you heard the Prime Minister. Don't expect me to comment any further. Just so there from Prime Minister Philippe Gipierre reacting to this gruesome incident which occurred in Industry Roselle over the weekend. Let me hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. In a moment, we'll be going through some of your comments in the chat room, and Amanda will be doing the honors. First, we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says, this government is going so far as to tamper with the national colors of the flag so as to remove the yellow. This is illegal, Tim. This is unconstitutional, crass, immature, and extremist politics. SLP, your bar of national pride is on the floor. Get your heads checked urgently. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Okay, somebody says there via WhatsApp. And I'll be trying to go through some of your messages from yesterday and a few days before that. But let me turn my attention to you, Amanda. Good afternoon to you. What's happening in the chat room?
Good afternoon, team. Good afternoon, News Spinners. Someone says, team, they are boasting because last year it was bad, so things are a little better now, but not like before. Another comment, Mr. PM, is this before or after COVID? Because you said that after COVID, tourism will never get back to normal. Another comment reads, that simply means Alan Shastney was right again. The clown has always been clowning for political mileage. Someone says, when your line of sight only gets to the tip of your nose. Another comment reads, this PM doesn't have the gonads to apologize for anything, especially his biggest blunders. Another comment reads, the Prime Minister even sent us to go and read a book called The Ministry of Truth, yet he kept lying to us. And the comment here reads, and most of the monies that is being collected, GPH has most of the pie.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Thank you for taking my call. This is Dominic Fede.
Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I've been listening to your broadcast, and I wanted to sort of comment on some of the discussions you've been having so far, and the issue about the crime situation. Tim, we can have new recruits. We can put more weaponry. We can increase the technology. Pardon me. But as long as the government remains in denial that there is a massive problem which puts our country on the brink of disappearing, we will never able to solve the crime situation. Tim, it is so ridiculous in this country that the government has embraced a symbol of crime in the cabinet. I'm talking about Richard Frederick. Every single St. Lucian knows, Tim, that Richard Frederick is largely associated with criminal activity in the country. Why is the St. Lucia Labour Party...
Those are strong words to say that...
strong words.
Yeah.
So let me substantiate,
because
why I'm saying that.
You're giving the impression that this is not a country of laws, Mr. Fede. This is a country of laws, and I'm sure that if you're aware that he's engaged in any kind of illegal activity, the police, law enforcement would be aware of it as well and will deal with that particular issue.
So Tim, he's been charged for a gun offense against his neighbor. Are you aware of that? For
Yes.
using a firearm in an unlawful manner. Tim, go back and listen to the tapes. The St. Lucia Labour Party comrades, which have embraced him, are the ones who have said that he is the most frightening thing to have happened to the politics of this country. Tim, the St. Lucia Labour Party comrades who has accused him of drug trafficking and money laundering. They are the ones who said, Tim, that the U.S. revoked his visa for those reasons.
Well, those are allegations, Chief. Those are allegations, and he got his visa back, as far as I'm aware. He got his visa back.
Yeah. So when Stephenson King said that he wasn't aware why the United States government revoked the visa, Tim, the St. Lucia Labour Party officials then said that Stephenson King, who is Richard Frederick's best buddy, knew everything and knew the reasons why. And there are stories about him sending Janine Compton to the U.S. to find out what they had on Richard Frederick. All of this is well documented in the annals of our history. And so while you're saying that these are allegations, the minister has done nothing, Tim, to convince the people of St. Lucia that the perception that they have of him being a guy who facilitates criminal activity, that he is free from those allegations. And those are mere allegations. He has not come out firmly and deny it. And so therefore, Tim, it leaves the uninformed mind of the average St. Lucian to speculate. And as long as that perception is people's reality, then it is going to view the St. Lucia Labour Party government as not really interested in solving the crime problem of the country, but instead is willing to embrace, when it is convenient, any single unsavory person that can make them win an election. And that's where it's about. So it really sends a shocking message, really, about the politics of the Labour Party, that they are going to form any unholy alliance with anyone who can make them win an election. And so by them saying that they haven't accepted his application doesn't cut it. The fact is, you have chosen to put him in the highest decision-making office in the country, and that is in the office of the Prime Minister, in the cabinet, which is at the apex of decision-making in our country. So, Tim, it's very, very sad what is happening in this country, but the St. Lucia Labour Party, they need to set the example. If you are going to and I know you're a father, if you're going to tell your daughter that smoking is bad, but yet, Tim, you are a chimney smoker, then how are you going to drive home the message to your daughter? And so what we do must be what we say. And those two things must correlate. But Tim, I also want to shift a little bit to what is happening with the tourism industry. Tim, I'm very sorry for the current Minister of Tourism, because I look at him very often and he's trying to give this impression that tourism is having a remarkable year. And that was in 2024, or has had a remarkable year. Tim, the stats show that St. Lucia at best has underperformed. While he claims that St. Lucia would have grown by a mere 3% in the year 2024. Here is how our neighbors did. In Antigua, they had over 1.1 million visitors, and they grew by 15% over their 2019 number. In St. Vincent, they have increased their number by 25%. In Grenada, they have increased their 2019 number by 20%. And so we see that all through the Eastern Caribbean, very strong and robust recovery since COVID-19. It has taken St. Lucia all of 5 years to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, while global experts said that it would have taken the world just about 3 years to come back from that hit of COVID-19. Tim, we must also ask the minister to tell us about the bed nights or the length of stays in the country that have declined significantly. So when you talk to taxi drivers, you talk to restaurateurs, you talk to vendors, they have a different story than the illusion that the minister is trying to paint. So I really am I'm sorry. At the time of leaving office in 2021, Tim, the United Workers' Party, while they were saying that tourism would never come back, don't forget that, the Prime Minister said that we had the confidence in the people of St. Lucia. We had the confidence in the destination of our country and the strength of the St. Lucian brand. And what we did, we went about, Tim, we convinced the airlines that now was the best time to fly. And out of that, we saw an unprecedented level of airlift coming into the country. So much so that our recovery in the U.S. market, our leading source market for tourists, recovered by 75% within 6 months. So we left the minister a great foundation. So now he is trying to say it took him 5 years to build the other 25% and only increase it by 3%. So he has only put on some 28% of recovery since 2019. So it really is shocking, and it is as a microcosm of this government parading as successful when at best they are incompetent and mediocre. I thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's called NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well. So we deal primarily with facts and not allegations, and also in terms of besmirching people's characters. That is very important for us to ensure that we do not, run foul of the law as far as people's reputation is concerned. What is happening in the chat room? Amanda.
Tim, someone says they're very concerned, but you are laughing. Another comment reads, only now do words have implications. Someone says, Mr. PM, there are some of your cabinet members who need work on their anger issues. Another comment, PJP is one walking contradiction. Someone says, what am I hearing? Attempting to remove yellow remove the color yellow from the national flag? Is it a bunch of crazy men or women we have in government? Or is it a bunch of preschoolers? Didn't they learn at school that's what yellow represents in the national flag? Another comment, once a government starts to flutter with the national flag colors, just know that your country is in a big problem. Someone says, what a hypocrite. This is the same Prime Minister asking his supporters to engage in proactive, inflammatory behavior by getting in people's faces to tell them you lose. Has he forgotten? A commentary from Peter Chico reads, you beat me to it. He and his party are the ones who have created this hatred, animosity and war, but Tim, they were the ones saying that they must take the country by any means necessary. Commentary reads, Dominic is right because it was the very same SLP who opened our eyes to all his illegal and unethical shenanigans. And the commentary reads, one of the best tourism ministers St. Lucia ever had, Dominic Fede.
Thank you so much for that update. We'll be returning to you in just a moment. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Let me see what's happening in the chat room. Somebody says, Pierre is the new Black Trump. Enough said. And let's see there if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says via WhatsApp, for your guidance, St. Lucia National Flag, cerulean blue. There was no limits to what we could achieve, no yellow. And let's see if we have some more of your contributions via WhatsApp. Okay, let's see there. Somebody says via WhatsApp, Tim, our poor log G's is okay. All right, let's see if we have something meaningful to go through there as we are awaiting all your calls once again at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, what exactly does Dominic expect from a prime minister who once admitted he didn't even realize how crucial tourism is to St. Lucia? And this man was actually a minister of tourism at one point. Let that sink in. Incredible, isn't it? But what's even more mind-blowing is his claim that only Alan Chastanet can expect tourism to rebound. That is supposed to be the most readied prime minister, or maybe he meant readied, R-E-D-D-I-E-D, because competence is clearly out of the question. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Tim, I have been listening to over the past few days, all the concerns made and brought in by the minister or the rep for Grosley, young man. And, you know, Tim, I just want to remind people that a young lady, a young woman, and she's still a young woman, Dr. Gail Regelbud, who has been a professional working in the developed world, she have had a long and distinguished career before she returned back to St. Lucia and into the elective politics. She also didn't come from what we would call a poor family or mediocre family. So they had some kind of means. When this lady, Tim, did like any normal person and started building her property, I mean, the kind of vitriol and the kinds of things that were said about this woman, it was appalling. And I listened on the side and I said, my goodness, I know that when you come into public life, your life is public. This is an expected thing around the world in politics. Once your life, you come to expect. If you can't take it, don't come in. But once you join, be prepared that your public life is going to, your private life becomes public and it's under scrutiny, under microscope. But I watch the things that a normal person would know, if you have any sense, that is expected from a professional, was worked a long time. It wasn't nothing out of this world. But today, Tim, when the public is putting the minister under the same scrutiny, the same microscope that he put Dr. Regobert and other members of the United Workers' Party under. He is crying foul. Now, why am I not surprised that this young man would think so, and this young man would make those statements, this young man would make threats? Did he hear Dr. Regobert make threats, or the others? Did he hear her say, I'll take you to court? He is nowhere near her league yet? And she was subjected to this thing by all the supporters? Did he say anything? But why am I not surprised, Tim? When just the clip you showed a while ago, that the Prime Minister today, when he was in opposition, could say those kinds of things about tourism and have absolutely no faith and encouraging the people to have no faith in the then government, and today can say something else. I am asking, Tim, what are the people of St. Lucia thinking? Or is it because they're silent? Because silence too can be a statement. Does it mean, or does the government really believe that the people of St. Lucia have forgotten the things they said? That the people of St. Lucia are dotish or dumb, ignorant or stupid? That they have absolutely no understanding? That they are not hearing this thing? I caution the United Workers' Party, and I say to them, when they get back in government, remember those, do not say things that you do not want tomorrow to come back and haunt you, that will embarrass you. Because right now, I consider these things that the Minister of the Retford Grosley is saying as so disingenuous. I consider the statements that the Prime Minister has made that is now coming back to him to be intensely embarrassing. I cannot imagine any right-thinking St. Lucian telling me that they cannot see that. And it didn't happen with the United Workers' Party. They cannot tell me that they didn't see that what this Labour Party did while they were in opposition, the things they did, the protests they had, the noise they made, that today they are acting all saint-like and forgetting the things, the names they called, the accusations they made, all kinds of things they did, and they expect to be in governance, in public life, and to have a smooth sailing. Them and the supporters do not want you to speak, do not want you to comment, do not want you to question, do not want you to say anything. I say to them, your government is in power. Your government is in public life. Your government is accountable to the people. Your government will be held responsible by the people. And if the electorate are quiet for some reason, and we don't know, maybe fear, maybe intimidation, maybe victimization, but the United Workers' Party will not be silent. The United Workers' Party will debunk, will hold them accountable, will bring up their things in their faces, will let them know. And we have learned something from the Labour Party. We have learned that if you repeat, it sticks in the minds of the people. So we have learned this from them, and I thank them, because we are not going to allow them to get away with this thing that they think they're passing on the populace of St. Lucia. It is ridiculous, and we will not tolerate it. If they continue to try to think they can pull the wool over our eyes with their flashing mirrors, I have news for them. And I have news for their supporters. They can insult, they can cuss, they can jump high, jump low, say what they want. We are going to hold this government accountable until we remove them out of office. Enough is enough, team. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Certain individual was trying to get the broadcast moments ago. Let's see if you could put that person on the air. Just bear with me while we try to see if we could locate the number for that individual. In the meantime, let's see if we have any comments to go through in the chat room, Amanda.
Someone says, Eric Caller, you talking about the condo minister with the GoPwell? Another comment, PJP has never seen planes come to St. Lucia, just like he has never seen an airport with 2 floors. So another comment, Tim Dominic was clear in what he said. He said his SLP colleagues said he was a drug dealer and a criminal, and that is undeniably true. The SLP did say that, and the videos are all there.
But we want to clear the air in this. Those are allegations, and you really cannot make reference to this if you do not have the proof to prove it. All right, we have somebody on the line via the WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
CP, what's up with you?
Good afternoon to you, sir. I see you was trying to get the line early on.
Yeah, I was, and I need to ask you a
That's
pointed
Minister Frederick.
I want to ask you a pointed question because I did not hear, and I always like to get it from the horse's mouth. Did Dominic Fede on your show call me a criminal?
Well, he said that you have been accused of being a criminal by the St. Lucia Labour Party operatives and government ministers. Well, let's put it this way, operatives of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and you are now part of the SLP administration.
He said I was being accused, and you sure those are his exact words, eh?
Well, you could listen to the tape, but he also made reference. But he also made reference to a couple incidents which have been linked to you several years ago.
Okay, I've not listened to the tape, Dominic, TP, but I'll tell you this. You can make reference to what you want. A criminal is one who carries a conviction for criminal wrongdoing. Okay? And insofar as I know, this Richard Frederick that I know does not have anything, an iota of any conviction that seemingly carries the semblance of criminality. And if you want to refer to an incident, then fine. But to bring it into the realms of criminality and to refer to me as a criminal, I just want to say this to Dominic Fede. I will say to him, expect a heavy retort on Thursday. A very heavy one. Because you see, TP, sometimes you permit the lion to sleep. And when the lion is asleep, you don't wake the lion. You can say this, you can say that. I will not call Dominic Fede a rapist, or I will not call him one who has impregnated a girl below the age of whatever. I will not say those things because I have no proof of them. But those are things. There is a tape with Dominic Fede, and I will be playing it, where he told him, and I gave you this, I gave you that, using state funds to solicit support. I don't go down those routes. But if Dominic Fede believes that I am a tree he can climb, TP, you know me already. I will defend my turf. And to tell me, I'll tell you this, Timothy Poleon, and I've said so again and again and again and again. You see, politics, if politics was totally devoid of subjectivity and too much highly opinionated utterances, politics may have been a good discipline designed for the betterment of the people. But sadly, everyone has an opinion. Everybody believes he or she is an authority on this or that. And everybody believes they can say whatever they want about others with total impunity. Dominic Fede is not a St. Lucian. He was not born here. He will never be a St. Lucian by birth. Who is Dominic Fede to come and attack me in the land of my birth?
But Sir John Compton, but Mr. Frederick, Sir John Compton was not born in St. Lucia.
Sir John was born on the sea.
All right, Mr.
Sir John was, hold on,
Mr. George Mallet was not born in St. Lucia. He was born in Panama.
Sir John was born on the sea. And Sir John's next port of entry was St. Lucia.
And George Mallet. George Mallet was not born in St. Lucia for sure. He was born in Panama.
I'm not sure of that.
No, I'm sure.
But I'll tell you this, and I say it without fear of contradiction. Up to this day, I still admire Sir John George Melvin Compton. And I say it without fear of contradiction, and I say it without reservation. Sir John was a St. Lucian at heart. When I tell you a St. Lucian, Sir John was the man. When I sat with Sir John said to me, Minister Frederick, you enter in politics. There are certain offices you don't play political football with. He mentioned the Governor General. I could never forget. He mentioned certain, imagine when you had guys like Skeet, who never supported Sir John. Sir John said, in the interest of national development, we have to use the best expertise that transcend the political divide. That was the man. That was a man who was nationally oriented. That was a man who believed in the interest of the people, not politicizing everything. But sadly, we have a totally different situation now. If you don't support me, you against me. Irrespective of you not having the ability to discharge certain functions, they will tell you you are not a supporter. And when I came in TP, I was in Flabo. I employed Arthur Charles, who had overtly condemned me as being a supporter of the United Workers' Party. When I came in, there was what's his name again? Zodan Lewis or whatever, I forget his name, at CCC, who they thought I would have dismissed because he was labor. He executed his job with such professionalism that when I got the opportunity, I gave him the job to be the managing director of solid waste. You know, so there are certain jobs, even now, TP, even now, and I want to say this, I've never had the opportunity of saying it. The accountant general, who people label as being a flubbo, people label him, but this man discharges his duty with such professionalism that if the Prime Minister were to give me an opportunity, I would leave him there for life. Because certain jobs in this country should transcend the political divide. But sadly, those guys don't understand that. Look at Benny Manuel. Benny Manuel was tabsec with the last administration. He was there. Today, he's chairman. He's chairman of the OKEU board because he is a consummate professional, and that is what you need.
But let me ask you a question, yes. Mr. Frederick. That's the final thing I'll ask you. The label as being attached to you, right? Mm-hmm. Of being involved in criminality, etc. Don't you think that you could look to the Senusha Labour Party? They are chiefly responsible for this.
You're asking me. No. Let me just say this, team. I don't know who is or who is not responsible. I came into politics. I made money by being a criminal lawyer. Invariably, your clients were those who basically transgressed the law, and you ameliorated the situation in whatever way you can to minimize whatever penalty they probably would have faced in the eyes of the law. I have no qualms with that. I did what I had to do as a professional. But you see, the sad thing is, persons have gone unhinged. They have gone on a limb. When you tell me a man like Dominic Fede, I just call my contact and say, go to the archives and give me stuff on Dominic Fede.
Okay,
Dominic Fede. There are certain persons, hold on.
Mr. Frederick, you're not answering
the Bible.
You're not answering the question. The question is, when you came into office...
You're asking me who's responsible.
Yeah,
I cannot say...
In 2006, you know what you were subjected to by the Senusha Labour Party.
Of course I know what I was subjected to.
And what was said about you? What was said about you?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
And Tim, what makes it grossly worse is that at that time, the very United Workers' Party supporters, Alan Shastney was nowhere around, Dominic Fede was nowhere around, and I dare say categorically, those two foreigners, those two non-born solutions were nowhere around when I was taking the heat for the United Workers' Party. Where were they? Today, they have joined the fray. And I'm not telling you, no. I am not saying that the Labour Party did not tarnish me or did not start the tarnishment of my reputation. I'm not saying no. But the very people who defended it vehemently, the very people who held me, and even you, Tim, you are a little too conniving, but we leave that for another show.
I'm not conniving. I'm just asking the question. I mean, the truth is the truth.
When Rick said about I was responsible for the demise of United Workers' Party in the last election. And then you said 2011. You know it's the last election. I said 10 years.
But what I was saying is, we're talking about 2006, you were chiefly responsible for the victory of the Senusha of the United Workers' Party.
Responsible for the last elections as well, for their demise.
No, hold on. Let's take it in strides. 2006, you're chiefly responsible. So you want to fast forward to 2016, chiefly responsible for the defeat, right? The United
2016?
2021, sorry, 2021.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But 2011, there's a question mark over 2011 where it's being suggested that you would have been responsible or you led to their defeat.
But CP, how can you lead to a defeat when you won your seat? That makes no sense.
And the party lost.
Yeah, the party lost, but you won your seat, which means you are a force to be reckoned with. And there's no doubt. TP, you know me. You know me in that arena, in that political arena. It's not any little boy that could stand in front of me. And I say this without fear or favor. I am a force to be reckoned with. Because you know what? I came into politics not for my personal aggrandizement or enrichment, but to bestow on the people of my constituency and by extension St. Lucia what the impositions they made on me by virtue of supporting me. And that is why even you were forced to admit Richard Frederick is one of the hardest working politicians that ever walked on this St. Lucian soil. And that's a fact. It is a fact. If my thing about criminality and this and that and the other, look at this one. He called me a criminal. And then when I just started, I just dropped pellets. I didn't drop bullets. I dropped pellets. You know, I drop pellets and persons are calling me, you know you'll mash up the boy, you know you'll mash up the boy, you know you leave that alone. Why go down that road?
But those remain allegations, eh?
Yeah, allegations? What do you mean allegations? TP, if your mother was shot, that's an allegation or a fact?
The same way.
No. The
same way I told him that those remain allegations when he was making the statements about you. I'm saying to you, the statements you're making about him are
I'm
allegations.
not making statements about anybody. I operate from a factual TP, there is no talk show host, not even you or anybody else that can basically substantiate everything they say factually. If I say your father was shot, your father was shot. If I say your auntie was shot, your auntie was shot. If I say your auntie husband was shot, your auntie husband was shot. That's not allegations. Those are factual pronouncements. You understand?
But we're not talking about illegal. In that context you just brought, you're not talking about illegality. With illegality, you must come with the evidence.
No. I'm just being factual in what I see here. And that is why I'm telling you, those people just keep spewing nonsensical utterances. You all just did a poll that came out on the 6th of January. Okay? Richard Frederick is leading at 73%. Okay? 73, the man 21-6 uncertain, which shows very minimal uncertainty. And it is because I've won 4 elections, team. I have won, and you don't win 4 elections just so. You cannot win 4 elections consecutively just so. There must be something you are doing right. And TP, I'll tell you, the day I believe I cannot fend for the people who placed me in office, I will bow out, whether I'm Flabo, whether I'm UWP, whether I'm SLP, whether I'm the Star, or whether I'm no PP. Because when people vote for you, they vote for you with expectations. They vote for you that you will deliver to them what they have been deceived of or deprived rather of. You know,
okay.
So that's what they vote for you for. And once you can deliver on the takings you give to them, rest assured, when the time comes and you are being marked, your test papers are being marked, they will give you a pass mark.
Thank you so much.
And the kind of rubbish the guy's talking about, that's all y'all can come with according to Rick Wynn. Be prepared to fight Richard Frederick on his too. TP, have a good day, my brother.
Thank
God
you
bless.
so much. Yeah, just there from local government minister and MP for Castries Central, Mr. Richard Frederick. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and it's called NewsSpin.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex Customer Service Office in Castries is now opened for business, but we've moved. We're now located on Daisy Avenue in Sanssouci on the ground floor of the new Carillac building. We're open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check out our online options first. But if you do need to come in to see us, we'll be pleased to serve you with new connections, bill queries, payments, and other service requests. Lucilex Sanssouci office, ground floor of the Carillac building. New location, same great service.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Ouais, monsieur. Pas jodi moi la KSP plein bon glow. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, me money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni tout pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme penser ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Brand pump yo c'est Léo. Pump ça c'est Major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moins actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pump glo Léo entre pour les 9, juin et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
Take control of your health at La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay, Groselet. We offer state-of-the-art diagnostic services including our advanced full-body MRI scans. Did you know cancers affect millions but are curable when detected early? Our full-body MRI is radiation-free, painless, and highly accurate. It detects cancer early, spots hidden illnesses, and uses advanced technology to ensure you get the best care possible. At La Clinique de Corps, we prioritize your health and peace of mind. Our highly skilled team provides personalized care in a comfortable and welcoming environment. Protect your health and secure a healthier tomorrow with our comprehensive diagnostic solutions. Book your full-body MRI today and take the first step towards a healthier future. Call us at 451-6559. Your health is our priority at La Clinique de Corps.
It's the Tile Thursday specials. The sale you've been waiting for is finally here, happening this Thursday at the Tile Gallery. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, bathroom, or updating your entire home, don't miss out on the chance to save big on high-quality tiles that will elevate any space. Mark your calendars for Tile Thursday specials, the last Thursday of every month. You can save up to 50% off on selected tiles. Located at M&C Home Depot in Sunville. Hurry in! These amazing deals are in-store only, and supplies are limited, so be sure to grab yours while you can. Remember, Tile Thursday only happens once a month, so don't miss out. Visit the Tile Gallery this Thursday. See in-store for details.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located American Drywall Building, Vic Bouteille. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
This one will be the biggest ever! It's Legacy 2025, the Independence Edition, featuring two of the Caribbean's greatest icons, the soca queen herself, Alison Hines. Alison Hines! And the region's groovy master, the man with the most groovy hits ever, Rupee! The St. Lucian Giants, King Sly. Calypso Legends, Papa Vader, King Ashanti, Robbie, the grand return of Alpha. Legacy 2025 is gonna be amazing. Saturday, February 8th, 8 p.m. at the Pavilion. Limited early bird $100, regular $120. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Wave. Sponsored by KFC, Republic Bank, Massey Stores, IBS Solution, Climax, Peter Bear, First Citizen, Blow, and the Independence Committee.
Look at people!
Still to come on the broadcast, a special guest, but let's take a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Hi, Tim.
Good afternoon,
This
Mr.
is Dominic Fede.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon. Now, I hope Richard Frederick is listening. Because, Tim, I am never afraid of any toothless lion. You know, toothless lions, they make the most noise. Now, let me say this to Richard Frederick. Tim, allow me some latitude. Richard Frederick, your name is synonymous and symbolic with criminal activity, disorderly behavior in the country. That is what I said. Now, I want to also say to Richard Frederick that wasn't me who said that. These are his present cabinet colleagues. They are the ones who said you were a drug dealer. They are the ones who said that you were arrested in the U.S. for drug trafficking and for money laundering, and that you flashed your diplomatic visa to the American police.
But,
I remember that
but
so
in the interest of fairness, Mr. Fede, if those allegations are being made, then by his political opponents, and those were mischievous claims that were being made without an iota of evidence, I don't think that we should be repeating this. I don't think it's worth repeating. If it's not true, it's not true.
Okay, so Tim, very good question and very good point. I want to say this to you, that when a very reputable institution like the U.S. Embassy would have felt that their investigation would have revealed that they had enough evidence to revoke the visa of a sitting government minister of an ally, then that becomes a very serious matter.
But up to now, we don't know why the revocation took place.
Well, it is for Mr. Frederick to tell us why. And that is why all of us must remain concerned about the revocation of a visa. That is unprecedented in the politics of St. Lucia. And so Richard can call me what he wants. I don't care. I'm a proud damn St. Lucian. My father came from this land. and like many St. Lucians, has been overseas to try to get a living. So what, Richard, believe that I'm afraid of that? I'm proud of my heritage, Tim. Okay? Now, I want to say this to Richard. No prime minister wanted him. He can only get a weak prime minister like Philip J. Pierre to accept him into the fold. Alan Chasney, you know what's his problem with Alan Chasney? He expelled him from the United Workers' Party. Alan Chasney felt that his credibility was not good. So he said, look, you need to go and sort out yourself. And you were dismissed. Fact. From the United Workers' Party. And I make no bones about that. Richard Frederick, Sir John did not want him. Sir John famously said to the people of Castries Central that, look, here I give you Barabbas. Do you know who Barabbas was in biblical times? Barabbas was the thief who was with Jesus. And when they asked the crowd, the Roman emperor, whether they want to free the Christ or Barabbas, they say crucify the Christ and free Barabbas the thief. And John Compton referred to Richard Frederick as Barabbas. That's all in the records. Kenny Anthony, it is well speculated in St. Lucian politics that he didn't join the cabinet because of Richard Frederick being a member of the cabinet. Right? He did not want to be in that cabinet. And I, Tim, will say this to you boldly on public television, that Dr. Kenny Anthony, right, if he was the leader of the Labour Party, Richard Frederick, there's a very strong likely chance that he might not have ever made the grade to be a cabinet minister. And those are the things that he has to swallow. Now, it is very convenient today that today he says he doesn't know who started the accusations against him. He doesn't have to look far. Look next to the person sitting next to you in the cabinet, right? They are the ones, Philip J. Pierre, your leader now, who said so. So what you want us to do? Forget all of these things, right? There is a gun offense with his name on it when he shot his neighbor's tank with his gun. Those are all facts that Richard Frederick cannot get away from. Why is it your application is still not approved with the St. Lucia Labour Party? Is it Dominic Freddy making that up? You are the one who said in the meeting. Now, I want to say this, Tim. Richard Frederick was on his show saying he was the lead proponent and told every St. Lucian that I impregnated a 16-year-old girl from Bexar. This is my fiance who I live with and share a child with today. And the child is 9 months old. Beautiful baby. I'm proud of her. But Richard Frederick, because of nasty politics, right, took her name into the gutter. And at the time, Tim, she was all of 30 years old, right? But it doesn't make a juicy story to say that Dominic Freddy has a new girlfriend and she's from Bexar. People will go, well, what's wrong with that? He had to say that she was pregnant at the time, and he had to say that she was 16, right? That is what he does. He comes on the show, he lies. He's the biggest liar in the politics of St. Lucia. And I am not going to stand by. The last United Workers' Party administration, we were too nice. We ignored everything he said. But I'm going to tell the toothless lion that not only him that has a voice, I have a voice. And he cannot silence mine. And so whatever you say on Thursday, be very careful. Because I will fight you in the media, I will fight you in the courts, and may the best man win. But I'm not afraid of you. You know, the people who shout the loudest are the weakest people. Empty vessels make the most noise. And all this rah, 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 just trying to intimidate everybody. There's nothing behind you. Okay? So I'm listening on Thursday. For the first time I will be listening, because I don't listen to such garbage. You've weaponized your show as a sitting government minister, right? Rather than telling us how many houses you built. You haven't built anything, right? And all you want to do is weaponize your show to attack civilians of the country? And you expect me to have respect for you? Come on, man. Right? Now, he said he never gets it wrong, Tim. But as far as I remember, he was the one who was saying that Fresh Start wasn't capable of developing the Shock and the Talvan housing project. So what has happened now? You've had to eat up your vomit because you were wrong in the decision you made in the first place when you victimized the contractor because the projects were started under the United Workers' Party. Now, bless the Lord for Talvan and Shock housing project, because the only thing Richard Frederick would have had to show as housing minister is the 4 little huts in Dennery. That's the only accomplishment that he has, that he said these are the ones he started and completed. His record shows that he attempted to victimize Lincoln Maynard Skinny. The man not even buried yet, and politicizing the funeral. Could you imagine this guy? And then you want to come as though you're an angel? We didn't start those comments. Alan Chasney, when he's talking about was nowhere around the UWP, he was Minister for Tourism. So John had the vision to say, look, even though Alan Chasney had not run a seat, but he was identified as a future leader of the United Workers' Party. How dare Richard Frederick try to put his name in the same sentence as Alan Chasney, a decent man who has done more for this country than Richard Frederick can ever dream of in the politics of St. Lucia. So come on, man. I have no time for no toothless lions.
We have
Thank
to
you
end
very
it. Okay, thank you so much. Just heard there from one of the deputy political leaders of the United Workers' Party, Mr. Dominic Fede. Let's see what's happening in the chat room. Amanda.
Tima comment here says, can Amanda keep up with the comments today? They are fast and furious. Tim, indeed. I'm trying to keep up. I would read a few. Someone says here, NewsSpin is truly the most monitored talk show. Everyone is listening. Another comment, what did the PM say about anger? Someone says here, the caller sounds unhinged to me, and he accusing people of being unhinged. Another comment, he can give but he cannot take. Someone says, NewsSpin is hot today. Another comment, can someone release the Kenny clip about the worst thing to enter St. Lucian politics? Another comment reads, we must be careful of what we say because we have to protect the NewsSpin victory. A NewsSpinner says, okay, no, we can't read that. Another comment, what exactly does Dominic expect from a prime minister who once admitted he didn't even realize how crucial tourism is to St. Lucia? And this man was actually a minister of tourism at one point. Let that sink in. Incredible, isn't it? But what's even more mind-blowing is his claim that only Alan Chasney can expect tourism to rebound. This is supposed to be the most redded prime minister, or maybe he meant red died, because competence is clearly out of the question. Another comment, St. Lucia has a prime minister and a minister who has no idea what the ramifications of the economic trade war between USA, Canada and Mexico will have in St. Lucia. So he has to hire a task force headed by Emma Hippolyte. This is absolutely insane. A comment here from Human Guild Francis, including yourself, now alone you talking embrace. The SLP were the ones who called you all kinds of names. What did you do back then? Another comment, non-born foreigners. Caller, isn't your government giving citizenship to non-born foreigners? Your xenophobia needs to be checked. Comment here, this guy tormented Guy and Chas to over 10 years and now you are being held under the fire for your BS. You there like an African snail when salt is poured on them. And that's about it for me today.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. Still to come, we have the United Workers' Party candidate for Castries Central, Mr. Rosh Clark. He will be on the broadcast.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
It's the Tile Thursday specials. The sale you've been waiting for is finally here, happening this Thursday at the Tile Gallery. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, bathroom, or updating your entire home, don't miss out on the chance to save big on high-quality tiles that will elevate any space. Mark your calendars for Tile Thursday specials, the last Thursday of every month. You can save up to 50% off on selected tiles. Located at M&C Home Depot in Sunville. Hurry in! These amazing deals are in-store only, and supplies are limited, so be sure to grab yours while you can. Remember, Tile Thursday only happens once a month, so don't miss out. Visit the Tile Gallery this Thursday. See in-store for details.
It is well known by all St. Lucian professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns. All at unbeatable, jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Massad Grosile. Europa, we service what we sell.
Take control of your health at La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay, Grosile. We offer state-of-the-art diagnostic services including our advanced full-body MRI scans. Did you know cancers affect millions but are curable when detected early? Our full-body MRI is radiation-free, painless, and highly accurate. It detects cancer early, spots hidden illnesses, and uses advanced technology to ensure you get the best care possible. At La Clinique de Corps, we prioritize your health and peace of mind. Our highly skilled team provides personalized care in a comfortable and welcoming environment. Protect your health and secure a healthier tomorrow with our comprehensive diagnostic solutions. Book your full-body MRI today and take the first step towards a healthier future. Call us at 451-6559. Your health is our priority at La Clinique de Corps.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. It's also the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. We have in studio this time the United Workers' Party candidate for Castries Central, Mr. Roche Clark, said that he could not get the line, so therefore he decided to pay us a visit. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim, and good afternoon, the team.
What would have prompted you to take the trek over to our studios today? I imagine it's the call by the MP for Castries Central, Mr. Richard Frederick.
Yes, it's the call that I heard from this misrepresentative. Now, I'll be quite direct with what is said, because not only was it shocking, but it was quite appalling. Sorry, quite appalling. And he made so many points. He touched on so many different areas, and I don't even know where to start. But I'll go through it. My first question to this misrepresentative: does he even intend on practicing what he preaches? Does he just continue to regurgitate his hypocrisy? The segue where you talk about nobody touches your vendors, yet they were violated by you, first and foremost. You know? And let's take a look down when he spoke a little on the history of politics, and then he brought in Sir John Compton. Let's go down history lane. Have we forgotten that it was Sir John Compton that warned us on this man? The same individual that wanted to have become the Minister of National Security. And we're facing the consequences today. Everything that we're going through, the ugliness, the how should I consider, the bitter situations of victimization that we're experiencing is through the involvement of this man in politics. The allegations that surround this man, it's countless.
But they remain allegations.
Now,
because I'm sure very soon, if you stay in politics too long, Mr. Clark, people will also fabricate all kind of stories about you.
There's a saying that where there is enough smoke, there is fire. I have never taken the opportunity of going about spreading or indicating any of these allegations about this misrepresentative. Every St. Lucian in every corner of this island knows exactly who this individual is. There's nothing to hide about it. The United Workers' Party has been trying to indicate, right now you're recognizing that the Labour Party has taken a back seat in involving directly with him. Because Richard's time is numbered. And when he indicated his purview of him wanting to, he's so confident in his position that he's not going to bow down. Nobody wants you to bow down. You have to stay and take this beating. What's here for you is not going to miss you.
Why are you so confident that you are going to defeat Mr. Frederick in the upcoming general election? As you heard from him earlier on, he has won 4 elections as to maintain his position as MP for Castries Central. You as a newcomer, a political neophyte, what gives you an impression that you will defeat him this time around?
It's not an impression. It's the cry of the people within the Castries Basin. The same cry of the individuals that put faith in Richard in this misrepresentative and have been disappointed time and time again. We as a people, we have actually started to take the stand. Stand for what we recognize as just. Stand for what is important to us as a people, and not be fooled by the lies, the propaganda that this man has been spreading. We seem to have a problem, and even then, all of this seems to even stem from the point where I indicated that there are criminals in power. Kenny Anthony, being the general at that point in time of the Labour Party, made a statement that he refuses to stay in cabinet with a man like Richard Frederick.
We never heard that statement.
Oh, yes, it has. The same way he stayed on a political platform and indicated, and he called him a drug baron. Richard didn't take him to court. So you have a problem so much when it's indicated that there are criminals in power. We could diagnose this for the entire day. And I don't know how much time I remain on your show. I'm so sorry because, again, how should I say it? I just abruptly came. But that level of rubbish that is being spewed by a misrepresentative needs to be corrected. And these are the things that we need to stand for. Because the same way I can come, I'm not saying that that's permitted. And again, I'm grateful for being on the show unannounced. But it shows the strength that we have as a democracy. It's not a dictatorship that Richard Frederick rules this city under his iron fist. That's rubbish. And the people that are believing that level of propaganda, running on that fear factor, that this misrepresentative has an edge, you'll be quite surprised. This misrepresentative is in a fear factor at this point in time.
But he also suggested that there's been a poll which shows that he has a significant lead.
And I'd love to address what Richard does, which is quite surprising. Well, it's not surprising. It's surprising to individuals that are, I'm sorry to say, quite gullible to this. But Richard Frederick presents information that you do not ever see. It's just a flash of a paper. I could stay there and write anything and say, hey, I have documentations on this and that. When you come in and indicating a poll, last elections, Richard Frederick managed to scrape, I should say. What was the numbers? I want to be statistical here. He had the amount of, I think, 2,099 voters in a constituency that has just under 10,000 individuals. From that year till now, you did something so great where you have 80% of the individuals. Who are you fooling? Who exactly are you fooling here? And the thing is, it's a disrespect that he shows towards the people of St. Lucia. You've been disrespectful to young women. You've compared women to the mileage in your vehicle, and this is the current MP. It's a shame. This man should be ashamed. You call in the station and then you wanting to have your remarks about rubbish, man, absolute rubbish. And I indicated that, and I used this exact terminology for him. The "Can I help you" show. Who are you helping? Who exactly are you helping? Spending so much time to fool and mislead, disguise yourself. No, everyone sees you for exactly who you are. And the truth needs to be said. This is not going to be a David and Goliath. Brother man, you'll fall down like a ton of bricks as far as I'm concerned. You'll fall down like a ton of bricks. If you're so confident you're not going to bow out. But nobody wants you to bow out. Stay and take the fight. I don't know if the Labour Party would be supportive of you. But hey, run independent. But stay and take the fight. The loss is going to come for you.
Why are you so bold to take on this what is being described as this political giant?
What you're seeing here, Tim, is the face of not only the youth but people within the Castries Basin. We have been a set of individuals that are bold, a set of individuals that are, how should I consider, confident within our own cause. Because again, when you're standing for what is right, you're standing for what is just, you are not frightened by the enemy. You're not frightened by the enemy and all the illustrious weapons that they use against you. Whether he has his RF cult, RF team, I don't want to get it wrong here, but you understand, when you come with your group of individuals that chant your name, man, that does absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Let's see if we can take some calls from our listeners in the remaining moments. We have somebody on the line, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Timothy, present. Good afternoon to you.
A quick contribution or a call, a question. Hold on, caller. Or a question for my guest, because time is very much against us this afternoon.
Mr. Ross, thank you very much for this afternoon. This is a voice of confidence. And I like to hear that.
I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that, definitely.
You understand? Of the United Workers' Party. I'm hoping that you win the seat.
I am proud. We will.
Let not Richard Frederick try to intimidate a lot of people. I remember a few years ago, I was visiting a friend of mine, and Mr. Richard Frederick, Timothy, you may have heard about it. It was in Corinth, and he had a confrontation with a friend's mother, and then it was not, he did not have to draw his weapon, his gun, he did it in the presence of people.
And there's so many stories.
Okay, caller, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. 452-2979. Let's try and see if we can take as many calls as possible. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. I think you're about to make a point.
Oh yes,
Okay.
I was saying the caller, the previous caller, he made a point. There are so many stories that circulate throughout this island of this misrepresentative undertaking these actions.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, sir.
And good afternoon, Mr.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
I want to commend Rush Clark for standing up to this bully. The very fact that you could leave your vehicle, leave your home, and drive to the studio because you cannot get through. This shows determination.
In fact, I was in a meeting. It was playing in the background, and the second I heard him speak, I tried calling Tim. I said I was unable to, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna rush down here.
I congratulate you, Rush.
I
and I'm
appreciate that.
very proud of you. Keep this guy on his toes. Put him on his backside. He's running scared, and he's a bully.
And this is
the best way to defeat a bully is to stand up to them.
Definitely.
And I'm glad that you were doing that. Thank you very much.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much.
I would like to also say something, Tim, here to the people of Castries Central, and not just Castries Central, the people of this nation. It is time that we take a stand against that level of victimization we've been getting from persons that are in power. Right? What this man has been doing on his talk show, using people in a sense of embarrassing individuals, pointing out ways in which he's reproaching individuals for everything that he's done. It's a time that we stop and we take a stand to stand against this nonsense. We need to stand against this. We have to put a stop to all that level of victimization, all that level of disrespect that we've been accepting by this MP. At this point in time, this man walks around with a God complex, and you fail to understand that these are the persons that put you in power to serve. You're here to serve.
We have a call on the line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. 452-2979. Good afternoon.
Hey, Timmy, how are you doing, my brother?
Good afternoon. Okay, caller. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Yeah, please. I think one thing that the guy left out, former member for Anti-Canada, his name was slips me. The guy called the former member former rep for...
Yeah, Mr. Fede.
Mr. Fede. It's guy name was slips me, Fede. And he forgot to mention that Bank of St. Lucia, the biggest bank on the island, closed down
his account. That's right.
What does that tell you? Does that tell you you're doing something great?
Tim, are you hearing this? These are all the allegations that have been going from. This is even on record.
Do you also know, Timmy? Do you also know that he is also a point of interest in all this stuff about me? Do you know he's also a point of interest in the original Jean? Beige murder, which went to the police to ask for protection. Soon after he was killed by the police.
My God, man.
Do you really get it? It was said by a former minister of security. This is a dangerous man in St. Lucia. It's said by a minister of
and
this guy is not just dangerous. He's a lunatic.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much.
The word that was used, a lunatic.
Thank you so much.
At one point, Tim, there's
we'll take two more calls. Go ahead.
There's also a call, I think one in your previous, the previous shows. I tried calling and I didn't get through again. And I think there was a point where you indicated that Richard Frederick is the most powerful individual. This needs to be corrected. Richard Frederick might be the most notorious individual in Parliament. You could take that in the bank. Take that to the bank. Right? He's the most notorious, but powerful. Powerful indicates that you have the capability to empowering those that are around you. Richard Frederick doesn't know that. Richard Frederick is for himself. Ask yourself, let's take a look at Richard Frederick's timeline and the seasonal changes he has with friends and those that are around him. They themselves are cautious of this individual. Ask him how many cracks he have in the RF cult right now.
We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Tim, I just, first of all, want to make a comment about this Prime Minister. I mean, we have become St. Lucians, a laughingstock of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And that is evidenced by the fact that you notice anytime something serious or something of great consequence is brought to the Prime Minister's attention, the first thing he does is to laugh. I mean, I heard a reporter ask the Prime Minister about a case where five individuals were chopped violently, in Swazel. And his initial reaction was to laugh at it. And we have seen him do that when matters of national security is brought to him, when, all kinds of situations of a serious nature is brought to him, he laughs. And so I've concluded now that we have become the laughing stock of the St. Lucia Labour Party, especially, the Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre. On another note, Tim, I listened to, but before I go any further, let me just say, Rush, good afternoon to you. I admire your determination and your courage, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
I am one of the St. Lucians who wish you the very best. I have no doubt that you're going to be successful in your quest to become the representative of Castries Central to replace the misrepresentative Richard Frederick.
That is right. That is right.
Talking about Richard
Amen
Frederick, to I heard his tirade a little while ago in response to a call by Dominic Fede. There are a number of things that Richard said there. If I have to take it one at a time, I know you don't have enough time on your program for me to do so. But let me just deal with a couple of matters. He invoked the name of Sir John Compton. Richard Frederick talked about Sir John, mentioned that you don't play politics with ministries, certain ministries, and so on. He forgot to mention one of the ministries is the Ministry of National Security that he wanted, and Sir John would not have any of it. Secondly, let it be known that Sir John was not a fan of Richard Frederick. Sir John actually, knowing much more than we did at the time, did not want Richard Frederick as a candidate. And that is evidence, if you go back to the records, check the meeting on the William Peter Boulevard when Richard Frederick was presented to the public. Sir John, as party leader, said to the crowd, okay, you want Barabbas, I give you Barabbas.
Imagine that.
Okay? And that, by my understanding, my little knowledge of the Bible, is that Barabbas is not someone that one would want to anoint or endorse. So if you call for him, you wanted him, I give it to him. It was not him as leader of the party willingly doing so. Okay, so let Richard Frederick remember that. The next thing is, Richard Frederick came and tried to cleverly define a criminal. And he suggested something to the effect that a criminal is somebody who's convicted of a crime. Richard, a criminal is also someone who commits a crime. And even if you are not caught, even if you are not taken to justice and convicted, if you are engaging in criminal activity, you are a criminal. I want you to remember that. Now, let us just bear in mind that, you talk about Dominic Fede not being born in St. Lucia. There are many St. Lucians, and like Tim pointed out to you, like Sir John, like Sir George Mallet, who were not born in St. Lucia, but became citizens of St. Lucia and made their contribution to St. Lucia. Being a citizen of St. Lucia gives you every right, just as a born St. Lucian. And that I want you to understand. And there are born St. Lucians who do not have the rights that we as citizens of St. Lucia have, because some of St. Lucians who were born here have given up their St. Lucian citizenship to become citizens of other nations. Right? And so I do not know what it is you're trying to suggest by coming up with that subject, but that is the kind of person that you are. You're a bigot. And you're the kind of insular individual.
Misdirection and manipulation. It's all in the form of pageantry.
Right. And the fact that Richard Frederick was born in St. Lucia doesn't make you a better St. Lucian or a greater St. Lucian than anybody. And as has been said, Richard Frederick, your reputation precedes you here in St. Lucia. Your notoriety, especially in the realm of politics, is what it is, and you know what it is.
I want to put this up. Yeah. Can we?
But allow us to conclude. Go ahead.
And so at the end of the day, when you ask him the question about the people who made public his reputation as someone who is involved in money laundering, in drug trafficking, and even the suggestion was made that you're involved in murder. It was the St. Lucia Labour Party. And you realize how reluctant he was to engage in that discussion, because he's shamelessly sitting among them today, because he's so hungry for power. And there's a reason why Richard Frederick is hungry for power. Richard Frederick needs the protection of power, because at the end of the day, Richard, you have money, you have power, but the validation that you're looking for, I've told you before, you will never get it.
The thing is,
St. Lucians know your reputation and your character precedes you.
All right. You're saying?
Okay, Tim. Pardon?
Yeah, that's it?
Well, that's not it, Tim, but I realize you're going today on your show, and I want to be fair to Rush. He's the man of the hour. Let him have his say. I will continue on this.
Definitely.
And, let me just take a quick ad on you, Tim. You can listen to me on Meet the Opposition on Thursday morning.
All right, thank you so much. We'll take a final call in just a moment. You were about to say?
No, just indicating, as Mr. Spider, Mr. Montoot indicated, him not even being selected, probably he needs some coaching as to what he has to do to actually be the candidate that's going up. Then I could probably share some light in that area.
You have a final call. Hold that point. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, while we continue attacking Richard Project, people like me are being left under the net, and that is the consequence of...
Caller, on this occasion, it's not about you. General elections will be called constitutionally due next year. You could always try to contest the elections. Clearly, it's not about you. Thank you so much for calling, sir. We'll still take another call. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026.
Yes. So, again, Tim, a lot has been said here, and again, with due diligence, because again, with an individual that has been so notorious, I want everyone to be again vigilant in what it is that they do, because if it's anything, we've been warned by Sir John, and right now I think we as a people need to pray for a veil of protection against our misrepresentative.
We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. That's our final call.
Yeah, Timmy, quickly.
No. I've heard from you already, caller. Don't want to hear from you again. 452, let's hear from a new caller, fresh caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
I mean, just imagine that you were introduced on a platform as Barabbas, and for somebody that knows so much about the Bible, and you accept that.
Imagine that.
You have to be delusional. I don't know. You have to be delusional, or you just have to know really what you're about. But to accept that, and when you talk about hiding it in the open, I don't think it gets more blatant than that. Huh? You understand? The whole biblical tie-in, and then we claim to be a Christian nation. When it was Sir John knew exactly what he was doing. That's why he washed his hands of that.
That's right.
And I saw when he closed his eyes in peace. He could rest in peace, knowing what St. Lucia was about to put themselves in. And can himself say that's the worst? The man is the worst thing. But to enter St. Lucian politics, and now the man going to open his mouth and say he and Sir John, as if like Ross was saying, you just want to erase. I think it was Frederick that said that. Just erase.
Man is looking to put up his own statue.
Just erase that and pretend like it never happened. Well, you see, we need to get those clips and just start putting it out there. But I always say people will see what they want to see, and if we can't see it by then, I just will see. But
all right, caller.
Rush, big up yourself, and
thank
all
you,
the
sir.
best, my brother.
Thank you so much for calling. Our final call. Let's take the final comments from you, Mr. Rush Clark.
Once again, I am saying to not only the people of Castries Central, stay fast, stay alert, and the United Workers' Party will be the party of choice, the party that we would be moving forward. And again, your future MP will be there to support and help you through whatever trials that we have to go through to get this country back on track. Do not be distracted, do not be manipulated, or do not be fooled by any of the disguises or faces that come forth. We've been through this, we've seen it, and this is the time for us to stand for what is right for us as a people. Not the track record of what has been prevailed before. We've seen it, and we've seen the ugly face of what happens in the end. We must not hop to these scenarios and stay focused on what truly matters to us as a people.
Thank you so much for being my guest on this afternoon's NewsSpin program during the final segment of the broadcast. Just heard there from the opposition United Workers Party candidate for Castries Central, Mr. Rosh Clark. My name is Timothy Poleon. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your many calls, your contributions in the chat room, your WhatsApp messages. We'll do it all over again, God willing, tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 for another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin. Goodbye.